Alright guys, welcome to part 3 of the oil pan drain build out of a toolbox here. It all looks good. I'm happy with everything. I had one little screw up. I'll show you that here. On my caster mounts right here, I made this an inch too short. I made the mount the same width as the caster. I didn't calculate that these were up above the box and needed room to swivel. And so I had to move them out on the plate, and so I just clipped the corners of it off and rounded it around so it looked half decent and called it good. But yeah, so that's the only problem I had. It'll work just fine, and I don't think nobody will ever notice it. You can see down here at the bottom where I welded the holes in. I've got the wheels on it with just some little locking collars right there that you buy at Tractor Supply. This is the handle I come up with. That bracket, I clipped those ears off and put this piece in there here, welded the washer on it. I was going to put those collars on, use bolts on the wheels, but I decided to use the collars for the wheels with the axle and just weld washers on this to hold this to keep it from sliding back and forth. And I come up to the top, made a T-handle on it so that you can roll it back and forth, steer it around. The axle goes through. That's where I fill the holes in back there. I've got the baffles welded in, and if you can see in this corner here, right here, there's a hole on each corner of that baffle there where oil will go through the bottom. And if something were to plug this up, there's a notch right here in the top of it as well, so that it'll overflow and come into the other compartment without spilling over the side of the pan. I've also got holes drilled in this railing here, so any oil that goes through there will drain back into the pan as well. I've got the 3/4 to 1/2 inch reducer bung welded in, and a 1/2 inch ball valve on it right there. And eventually I plan to put a fitting on here to hook a hydraulic hose up to and hook a pump up to it. But for now, I'll just have to figure out some other way to drain it. Maybe have to scoop it out with something, but anyway, this is a expanded metal here that I picked up. This is a 1/2 inch between these here. See, about the size of my pinky. It fits on there just like that. Place to set your oil filter, or if you're changing transmission fluid, you can set your transmission pan up there and turn it upside down, throw your filter on it. Stand up on top of it, show you how strong it is. It rolls, as you can tell. So I guess that's a good sign. Next thing is, I am going to fill it up with water and see if it holds water. And then I'm going to pull the tires and wheels back off and wipe it down with whatever I can find that I have handy here. I had some lacquer thinner, I'm not sure, or acetone if I still have any, but whatever I got, I'll wipe it down with that, and I'm going to paint it. I got some Rust-Oleum paint at Walmart in a spray can. I'm going to spray paint it and let that dry, and then it should be finished. So let me grab the water hose over here. We'll get some water in this thing and see if it's going to leak. Alright guys, I got the water hose here. faster like that. Alright guys, let's slam full to the top. We'll let that sit there just a minute and then we'll look it over. Alrighty guys, let's see here what we got. I don't see anything around the drain or any of those seams. I splattered some around the wheel, so can't really tell, but don't see anything running right up under the weld or anything going on the floor. I don't see anything on that one either. I'm about to turn you upside down, guys, to shine you up under the bottom of it. But I don't see anything leaking under there. So, I will say it's a success. Let's see how easy we can move it around full of water there. Moves pretty easily. And just because we'll even stand on it full of water. And we can still move it. So, drag it over here to the edge and drain the water out of it. Like that there. It's going to take that a little bit to drain because it's just a 1/2 inch valve. I started to put a 1 inch valve on it, but I don't know, I figured a 1/2 inch valve would be okay. I mean, because if you hook a pump up to it, your pump hose has got to be the same size, or you got to use adapters and stuff. So I figured that 1/2 inch, and I'll use a 1/2 inch hydraulic hose and a pump, a dual diaphragm pump, and then you pump it out within about a minute, minute and a half. So figure that's plenty fast enough. I'm not sure how many gallons it is, guys. I figured it up with the math, and a rough estimate, I'm thinking around 15 gallons, or maybe a little more than that, maybe. But yeah, I don't think those casters look too bad the way I rounded them around like that and kind of hid my screw up there. But to get it painted and everything, I think it'll look just fine. Alright guys, I got it all painted up, and that's what she looks like. It's all finished finally. I don't think it looks too bad. I don't think anybody would ever know that used to be a toolbox either. Hope the light's decent. I'm in the shade here. I hope it shows up good. I didn't paint the handle because it has that zinc finish on it, and I thought that'd be cool. Leave the handle shiny. Those caster mounts don't stand out too bad the way I rounded them over like that after it's painted. You know, I don't think it's obvious that it was a big mistake for that wind up that way. But that 1/2-inch valve is a little bit slow draining, but I think it'll be okay. I'm not in a race usually when I'm trying to drain the oil out of something anyway. I rerun my calculations, and I come up with about 18-gallon capacity when I did the math on it. Figured up the square inches or cubic inches inside of it, and multiplied that times the how many gallons is in those square inches. Come up with about 18 gallons worth. So should be plenty big. Shouldn't run into any issues there. It held water. It's all painted up, ready to be used. So the next video will be of it being used, I suppose, whenever that might be. Next time I change the oil in either my pickup or my big truck or something. But I think this is going to be real handy, and whenever I get a pump for it, I have no idea when that might be, but whenever I do, I'll do a video on the pump and pumping it out and everything into a barrel or something. But anyway, I've been needing one of these for quite some time, and finally had the idea to make one out of that old toolbox over there. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with, but anyway, I think it looks quite good. Looks as good as one you can buy. I wound up spending about $135 on this, and this is the paint that I painted it with. Rust-Oleum Professional High Performance 15-minute dry. But yeah, I wound up spending about $135, not including my welding wire, welding gas, and my shielding gas, and the diesel fuel for the welder out there. So probably around $150 if you include that. You can actually buy one of these, a cheaper one made out of thinner stuff, for about $150. If you look on Northern Tools website, they have something similar, but they're cheap, flimsy is what everybody says. And they actually have some good ones made out of thicker material, kind of like this, but they go for about $450. So plus if you want a pump, that's an additional like $200 or $300. So you can spend a lot of money on one of these pretty shortly. But I've got about $150 in this because I already had the toolbox, and the pump that I'm going to buy, or I plan to buy whenever that happens, is about $300. But it's it'll be a 1/2-inch double diaphragm pump, and it won't be specific to this. I can just hook it up with a 1/2-inch hydraulic hose to pump this out, and then I can use it for whatever else I need. If I want to transfer oil from a drum, or just whatever any other uses I might find for it. So it's not just tied up just for this one application. So I think that'll work out great. Thanks for watching, you guys, and stay tuned for when I put this in use.